Jerry Jones, not running for president, by the way. Jerry Jones went on the radio in Dallas for his weekly appearance and lost his mind.
It's not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
Get a job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the right?
So Jerry Jones does not own that radio station, but that is the Fan in Dallas. That is his broadcast partner. Jerry Jones not only puts his games on that station, he does a weekly radio appearance on that station. And he said, I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, which is wild to me. First of all, the guy was doing his job. Second of all, having worked for teams directly, you have to learn the art of asking the tough question and making it sound like a softball. Because if Jerry Jones is on your station and you're the flagship station, you're not asking Jerry Jones tough questions. It just does not work that way. And this is what's wrong with Jerry Jones being involved directly with the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
You can't. I know what happened in the offseason. Jerry Jones survived the offseason. That's why until he is no longer running the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys are going to falter.
But and I don't disagree with the art of asking the hard question, but making it feel softer. I agree with that completely. But Jerry, you've brought this on yourself, dude. Like, let's stop calling into question the professionalism of your broadcasting partners and of that radio host who was, to your point, just doing his job. Why don't we ask questions about what's not happening on your team? Because you're only upset you're getting these questions because you're losing, and you're losing with regularity this year. So again, as I've been saying all week, hey, you didn't get Derrick Henry. You didn't get Devontae Adams. You signed CeeDee Lamb to a massive extension that's going to cripple your cap. You've worked with Dak on contracts over the years, but taken too long to do it. And now we're going to sit here and say that the radio guys are the ones that are the problem and that you're going to get someone else to ask the questions. I got news for you, Jerry. Another person is going to ask you the same question. It may feel a little nicer, but it has to be asked. Why did you not go and get Devontae? Why did you not go and get King Henry? Why did you not help your ball club in the offseason? Why did you want to compare yourself to Patrick Mahomes in the offseason, taking as long as you could take to make a decision and at the last second throwing the ball away, looking like Patrick Mahomes? Why are we making those comparisons to, like, you're just that guy who won't say, yeah, you know what? We should have gone and got Derrick Henry. We probably should have taken a bigger run at Devontae, but I just didn't feel like, cap-wise, it was going to work for us. And
well, I also think, to your best point, you waited too long to pay Dak and CeeDee Lamb. So it cost you exponentially more money. And it is really difficult if you are Jerry Jones to find a way out of this now. Because you are so leveraged next season. You're going to have to make some really difficult decisions. And is one of those difficult decisions not paying Micah Parsons? I think you're going to have a tough time keeping him. And I think you can franchise tag him. You can do all this other mumbo jumbo. Knock yourself out. The decisions you've made have not been good. Jerry Jones has not been a good owner on the field. Now, the stadium, the money, all of it, he's a great businessman. He should not be running football operations.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go and hire somebody to do that for you. And I think when you look at Jerry Jones in the group of owners where you're like, they're terrible owners. Is he any better than a Mark Davis in Las Vegas?
Yes.
You think he is?
I do. They're in the playoff conversation every year.
I think the Raiders are at the end of every year just as successful as the Cowboys are on the field, which is neither one of them won the Super Bowl.
But isn't that a little short-sighted? I mean, the Raiders don't make the playoffs with regularity. The Raiders are not relevant. The Raiders are not in the middle of it every single year.
Yeah, but they don't hire good coaches. They don't make good contract decisions.
And that's fair. I would agree they're similar in that way. Yeah.
At least Jerry has drafted better. Whether that be Micah, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. Okay. He doesn't understand how to build a football team because he doesn't have football guys. He's got his son. And I think that's the biggest issue with the Dallas Cowboys. And until that changes, nothing will change in Dallas.
Yeah.
They have more money. They can afford to pay taxes. They can afford to. But what does all of that mean if you don't win on the field? Because you pay back in the day. And we talked about this on the show all those years ago. You overpaid Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
When you were paying him $15 million a year. Huge mistake.
And I think the decision to bring him back kind of brings you into the thought process of Jerry Jones. Not to say it's the correct thought process, but just understanding he's looking at this saying to himself, oh, well, maybe I can recreate this, or, we can, as we always say in the show, wind the clocks back and try to get that connection back. I just think that Jerry Jones is a phenomenal businessman, man. You got to understand that Jerry Jones is not the sports owner who's asking the city for money. He's not like that. That building is all him. Like, he built that thing. He paid for it. He's huge in the community. Jerry Jones is not a bad owner. The issue is that he doesn't win enough. So the reality of it is clips like this get created because Jerry Jones is frustrated. He just got his ass beat at home by 38.
Worst loss of an era.
And I
Terrible.
There's not any other way to explain it than to say, yeah, your roster's not good enough. And I understand you've got some names, but and I'm not saying this is exclusive to Mike McCarthy, but they're not only is your roster not good enough, you're not getting enough out of the guys you have. Like, it's not like this team is playing the best football they could play and it's just not quite good enough. They're not playing good football. They're not at all.
Done.
Like, that's it. And Jerry doesn't want to say that. I don't think Jerry wants to go out and start the coaching carousel conversation.